Okay, so just going to preface this by everyone makes mistakes. Everyone does dumb things. I do them all the time. I get my team killed. I get myself killed. Everyone else does that too. I've seen some of the best players in the game do really stupid stuff that have also gotten the team killed. So I'm not calling out anyone in particular. Obviously, I've got names displayed, but whatever, not the point. I'm more talking about the situation and what's going on, not the people involved. So just keep that in mind for any of this. Oh, really? Fucker? He's gonna kill me. Thank you. Oh, no, no, he's smacking me around.
I got him. Nope. He was smacking me. Was for a purpose. It was not for a purpose. What?
Wow.
What, bro?
See this?
Hey,
see this? Check this. Get eyes on this.
So what's going on here is off-screen to the left, Disco Inferno is door holding, which is a minor exploit that's explained in the video description. Inexorable Warrior, on the other hand, is pinging the floor to try and encourage Disco Inferno to come out and join us in the room and play normally. Disco Inferno, on the other hand, appears to want to exploit or not play at all.
I was saying, like, I want him to come out. Okay, he left the door.
He left the game.
Grabbing ammo.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, pretty much. This one is nasty. One thing you want to be very careful of when healing a teammate or reviving them, because it immobilizes you both, is making sure that you do not have a spitter in line of sight to you. Very dangerous. Spitter up front! Oh, fuck! The random, yeah, we're both down. Watch the spitter, watch the spitter, holy shit! So here I am immediately immobilizing myself again with the particle pulse, with predictable results. Unfortunate. This is something that you'd think would be common sense, but is extremely common with new players. It's probably something inherited from being used to the lower difficulties in the game where there is no friendly fire. However, as soon as you get to intense, extreme, or insane, you get increasing amounts of friendly fire, which can be very hazardous to your team. What you're going to see here, if you watch Goldfanger for the next few clips, is he's going to do two things, essentially. One, he's going to walk in front of me and get in my way when I'm aiming at Xenos. So he's basically just blocking my shots. So what that's doing is basically reducing the potential damage output, gunfire from the team being put out to the Xenos, from 3 players being able to do that, to contribute to that, to 2, or potentially even 1 sometimes. So that just reduces your overall ability and sort of makes a frustrating experience for the player who's being blocked and trying not to shoot you. The second thing you're going to notice him doing over the next few clips is just not caring that I'm there. He'll shoot through me constantly, he'll shoot me at random, well, I assume trying to shoot a Xeno off in the distance. He'll walk through me while doing full auto and just hose me down with, half a mag. And yeah, this is really common stuff that you don't want to be doing because it gets your teammates pretty upset. Quick little observation here as well. You'll note that Payden Full is very much separated from the team. He's not really working with us. He's off doing his own thing. That can have bad consequences for the player who's on his own and the entire team. You want to avoid doing that where you can. The Ripper here has 3/4 of his health left. He's doing fine. However, there's a single runner that's chasing him around, and me, being the total genius that I am, I decided to try and shoot the runner to save him from it. Unfortunately, on higher difficulties, extreme or insane especially, the amount of damage from friendly fire you do is often a lot more than what a single runner is able to put out themselves. So I probably shouldn't have even pulled the trigger here at all.
Clear.
There is one fiddly exception to friendly fire on higher difficulties, and that's while you're being grappled by anything, you're immune from friendly fire. However, when the grapple ends, so does your immunity. There is an inconsistency with that, however. Weapons that do damage over time, like the Vulcan or the Incinerator, don't get that immunity. That might be a bug, maybe they'll fix it, but at the moment, don't try and help your friends out that way, because it'll hurt. Doesn't help with larger enemies, but Facehuggers have such little health that melee is a very safe way to get them off teammates.
Assistance required.
Both consumables and abilities don't do any friendly fire.
One, up.
Some weapon attachments can cause friendly fire to happen even when you're not actually shooting a friendly. The extended flash hider or overloaded rounds, for example. Said you wanted extreme, Cassie?
Whatever you want to start, I don't care.
So you can probably tell where this one's going already. Chaotic was wanting to play with Crimson and I. We were looking for a game of Insane. He said, I'm good for Extreme. Sure. Okay. So we loaded it up and just confirming what he wanted to do, and he said he's down for anything. Okay. Okay, sure.
Station's empty.
I'm not gonna get him.
Difficulty have friendly fire?
I hear Facehuggers again. So it's unfortunate that friendly fire contributed to this, but it sort of illustrates the point as well. Chaotic seems surprised that there is friendly fire on this difficulty level. What was that about friendly fire?
That you go.
Does this difficulty have friendly fire?
Absolutely.
That's y'all shredding there.
Welcome.
So what difficulties have friendly fire on?
Intense and fire.
So something new players often don't fully appreciate is the significant differences between the difficulty levels in the game. When you first start up a game as a new player, you have access to 3 difficulty levels: casual, standard, and intense. The main differences between those are casual and standard have no friendly fire at all, and acid doesn't hurt you at all. Intense, it has a little bit of friendly fire, and acid does a little bit of damage to you. After you've beaten the game once, 2 more difficulty levels are unlocked: extreme and insane. Similar to how casual, standard, and intense increase the difficulty gradually by making enemies tougher and do more damage, that trend continues. There's, however, a fairly large jump between intense and extreme, so much so that it's often a bit of a shock for players who are new to the extreme difficulty, just by how tough enemies can be and how much damage they can do. Going from extreme to insane is not as big as a jump as from intense to extreme, but insane does bring with it a few additional unique things, like being instantly killed by grapples, for example, or it doesn't say on screen here, but when you're downed, some enemies can just outright kill you, even though you've got a revive. So that's something to be aware of. It's also very common for new players to confuse intense and insane, probably because they sound kind of similar and start with the same letters, but they are very, very different difficulties, and if you're used to playing on intense or below and you jump into an insane match, don't expect to do well. That all said, something you want to remember is you want to be playing on the difficulty level that you have fun on. Whether that means you are stomping all over things or having to struggle and persevere. However that worked out for you, have fun. You'll hear a lot of people say, oh, you've got to play casual first, you got to play standard first, you shouldn't start with intense. That's nonsense. I started on intense. A lot of people started on intense. And some people just want to play casual. I don't, but you have fun if you do. I do recommend generally that if you're moving from intense to extreme and want to play insane, probably actually play a bit extreme first, get comfortable with that, get a few wins under your belt before moving on to insane, just because it's a lot more unforgiving. But like, if you want to just dive into the deep end, okay, just have the expectations as to what's going to happen. This happens often enough that people complain about it, and so it probably warrants a bit of a mention here. I'm not going to go into technical details here, but basically Aliens Fireteam Elite is a P2P or peer-to-peer networking game. What that means is there's no centralized game server that you all connect to play. It's one of the players who's hosting every match, so you want to make sure that your hardware and your internet connection and your home network and all that are decent. They don't have to be great, just decent.
Acid damage. Not encouraging. Continue your sweep.
I got you back.
Quite literally.
This should be right
check
here.
this. Check this out. Check this. Check this out. You see this?
So this is a very similar style of gameplay to exploiting door holds. Note J. Vincent Doss here is not exploiting. He's just sort of playing in a similar way. So he's hanging back very far towards the rear and wanting everything to come to him, which is fine, fair enough. However, he's sort of paying madly to get Orlando and I to join him instead of coming out to join us. So he's unwilling to actually play the game in any other way. And given this is the very first encounter of the game, he's probably not ready for the difficulty he's playing on if he's feeling the need to even attempt this.
Sentry active.
High speed incoming. Get hot.
Hey, check this.
Short burst.
So here we've got the actual door holding exploit at work here, with both Serban Milots and Hawk Force 1 both using it.
Look at this.
There is a commonality, a sequence shared with the first set.
We are just on intense difficulty, which suggests a few things. They may simply prefer to play that way, fair enough. They may struggle on this difficulty for whatever reason, again, fair enough. In both of those cases, probably more polite to ask the other player or players involved whether they're alright exploiting the game before sort of forcing that on them. Or someone has either shown or told them that this is the only proper way to play the game, which is complete nonsense.
Get eyes on this.
Signals.
You see
Closing
this?
fast.
Get eyes on this.
Scanner must have
Look at
pissed him off
this.
somehow.
Hey, check this. You
Look
see
at this.
this?
Hey, check this.
Get eyes on this.
Check this out.
Hey, check this.
If I had to guess, I'd say probably the third option if Hawk Force 1 is deciding to shoot at me instead of come out and play.
Get eyes on this. Grabbing ammo.
Another wave of signals. Hold fast.
And after being shown that it's totally unnecessary, both of them do eventually decide to come out and learn to be better players. One of the problems with door holding styles of gameplay, whether or not it's actually exploiting the game or not, in this case it is, it offers very little room to maneuver. So players tend to get in each other's way quite a bit, which can have pretty bad side effects. If someone else is reviving someone or about to, especially Doc, don't also do that. It tends to slow things down and it prevents you from covering them. So if you take some friendly fire, you don't need to make a fuss about it. The other person's probably already sorry and didn't mean to shoot you. In the meantime, while you're screwing around, neither of you is actually helping out dealing with the enemy, so you're costing your team there. Don't do that. So a lot of new players don't seem to know or understand that even though every player in a match can play a challenge card, only one challenge card is ever active. The other ones are returned to inventory. And while there are challenge cards with interesting gameplay effects, these two look to be new players who are probably wanting to be leveling up or gaining credits in order to afford things at the armory.
I want to be clear, short body.
So rather than the random card they got stuck with here, they probably wanted to deselect the cards they'd played in order to have the card that had the most benefit for them become active.
Anyone who pukes in my bird cleans my bird.
I'll get those bastards back. Grabbing ammo. Patching up. Aid kit's here.
You see this a fair bit with newer players, presumably because they're feeling frustrated. You also see it with more experienced players, often ones who aren't very good sports, probably because they're also feeling frustrated. Go figure. What happens is they go down and quit the match. Annoying to be down a man when they're a client or something, so it's just two of you remaining trying to beat it. Even worse if they're the host and they quit and it ends the game for everyone. No one can continue and try and beat the match. By extension, that also means if you're completely dead and spectating and can no longer really have an impact on gameplay, unless you know for sure you are not the host, you don't want to leave because that'll just quit the match for everyone.
Clear.
Door hit's locked. There's an active terminal. Try it.
Thank you.
Great. A bug sneezed on the console.
Quitting a match after you're dead and spectating is also harmful for you too, because not only can you learn things from spectating and just watching other players who are still alive play, but if they happen to win, that counts as a win for you too, versus if you've disconnected, you get nothing.
Clear. Clear. Shut down.
There's a couple classic mistakes going on here. One, facehuggers are dangerous, as by extension are eggs. If you stand near an egg, it will hatch a facehugger. If you damage an egg without outright killing it, it will also hatch a facehugger. In either case, the facehugger crawls out and sort of creates mayhem. So when a technician, for example, throws an electric coil down and it happens to be shocking an egg or multiple eggs, it's doing a little bit of damage to them. Definitely not enough to kill. And that egg is hatching and releasing facehuggers, which are going to be having a party with you. You won't like it. Second issue here is neither of them is paying attention to their motion tracker or picking up on the very distinctive sounds that facehuggers make as they move about. So hidden caches make such a sound. It's audible from fairly far away, so you can hear it as you approach. Very good way to find them. And that sound goes away after you open a hidden cache, so the sound that it's making before I open it is what you want to listen for to find it. This sort of thing is a little notorious with newer players on a couple maps. In this case, Priority 1 Ingress, first map in the game. Here you're holding out, waiting for an elevator to arrive. There's a countdown on screen. When the countdown is up, you get a pop-up in the middle of the screen saying get to the elevator. The objective changes on the upper right. Herrera jumps on the radio and says, get to the elevator. At this point, you're done the map. Everyone gets in the elevator and you win. However, new players just don't seem to notice that part, and it doesn't go well sometimes.
Into the elevator. Haul ass, Marine. A
similar sort of situation occurs at the end of Priority 1 Extract. You hit the button to signal that you're clear for launch. The mission objective changes. They'll pop up in the middle of the screen, indicate you should rendezvous with the dropship. Herrera jumps on the radio saying you should double time out of there. Just run to the back of the dropship, and the map ends and you win.
Staff Sergeant, we're good to go. Mount up, Fireteam. Double time.
That extraction timer on screen, if everyone's actually at the back of the dropship, ends the map instantly. You don't need to wait for it. This gets increasingly difficult to do on higher difficulties. Just be aware.
Passes in seat show party, flip and burn, and 15. Remember to tense your legs. Anyone who passes out gets their picture on ShipNet.